hanging out tonight. Doing some night work. Why aren't you putting it on a couple of pallets? Well, there's a pallet there and there's a pallet at the swing set.
It's so heavy it makes the backhoe lean.
Yeah.
And have to put a board.
Well, I made it regardless of my husband's instructions of taking the back roads. Oh my. The back roads over here are 1 lane, and this place is a lot more filled up than the places we've gone to in the past. You don't want to take good tires in here. I will tell you that. So I'm going over here to one of these piles. You know how you start doing something and you get a funny feeling? As soon as I turned on that road, I had kind of a sick feeling in my stomach. I thought, that's really odd. No reason about it. Thunderstorming during the night, woke up with a headache. I thought, oh, that's all it is. Got unloaded, kicked a bunch of scrap out of the way. There was a big mud hole. I thought, I don't know how deep that is. You know this old Dodge is one-wheel drive. I got my check, $32.80. A bit higher than we thought it was going to be. Got back to the paved road, thunk, thunk, thunk. I got a chunk of metal in my tire. I'm babying it along 35, 40 miles an hour to get back home as close as I can before it goes flat. Trouble is, it's a chunk of metal with like a nail through it, and it's probably 2 inches big, maybe an inch. Anyways, it's in the tire, and driving on it's only going to make it worse, so I called home. Good thing I left him the keys. He's loading up a tire. He's going to end up having to meet me part way, because I don't think this is going to make it. At least I have cell service out here. But you know what? That scrapyard was a lot bigger mess than the one at Padnose in Lansing. I don't think I'll be going back there. I've been to Padnose a dozen times. I've always watched and paid attention. Never lost a tire. Not until today. You know, they talk about that gut instinct and intuition. That was my gut telling me something wasn't going to go right. Well, the good thing is it's holding. The bad thing is, by Google Maps, I'm 25 minutes from home. The second bad thing is, I'm only going 30, 35 miles an hour because dirt roads, chatter bumps, 1 lane, old country roads. On a good note, we're finally getting some rain, and it's been raining for about 12 hours straight, so that's good. The new hayfield we planted is finally getting its first rain, and the other hayfields are dry and crispy. So something's good coming up today, but once we pull this piece of metal out, I didn't want to pull it out on the roadside, and I don't think I had anything to pull it out anyway except for my pocket knife. Well, $32 is going for a decent used tire now, which you probably can't pick up for about less than 50, so that sucks. Little section of paved road coming up. That's pretty nice, except for it worries me that I might be pushing this chunk of metal in because, well, maybe the dirt road is easier on it. I stopped and checked once. It's still holding, and I've probably been 15 miles. We'll see how much further we can make it. How do you like that? I've been home for at least a half an hour, and it's just been sitting here hissing, running out. Probably sitting right on it. I must have parked right on that metal, but this metal must have worked as a spacer between the nail. So guy's got a tire job he's gonna do. but it's through the tread, not the sidewall, so he's going to be able to patch it and fix it. So we'll be able to keep our $32. With a little bit of after dark work with the backhoe last night, he moved some things around. It has been shop cleanup week. It is time to start in to our drain system. Well, we had about a day and a half to 2 days of rain, and we've always had trouble with this spot, partially because the east trough dips right here at the joint, and our door will get froze shut in the wintertime because of a puddle there. I was gonna dig a trench for a drain from this part of the building all the way over to there and then out to the ditch. He wants to go this way and down the natural slope of the yard. I've always been kind of torn about that because we're gonna have to go through the driveway. We have a spot here that dips down, and we believe it is for the electrical service from the house because it hooks up in this corner in the basement and through here. Now, it could have been that it was the original spot where this pole was hooked up, because this pole, the wire going that way, used to go that way to the corner of this barn, and when this addition was put in, they disconnected that barn and then just ran it to here until the house was built. So he's gonna get rid of that pole. In the meantime, he is using his soil mover, and he is moving the topsoil and the dirt. And all that flooding we get every year up in the front is gonna finally be gone. We've wanted to fill this in after the draining is done so that we have a gravel dry. It's really windy today. I apologize for the noise. My mic with my buffer is not available because it's at the workhouse where I've been filming over there. All right, I know it helps a little bit if the wind is to my back. So, we've been wanting to do a gravel parking pad this whole length so that all of these shop door areas can be a good service center for all of our equipment. Do you remember this winter when we were pulling the tow motor in and we were having to move planks from up here over to here and just dragging it through the mud? It was a terrible mess. The gravel will get rid of that problem because we are quite often pulling non-running things and implements into this area, and we mainly use the center service door for most of our projects. Now, this little storage section up here in the front has always been kind of a plan or a thought of something that we're gonna do. So when they built the shop, they just kind of slapped in some old windows from something else. They never quite fit right. And we were thinking of, it's nice. So we've always thought of, it's nice to have the daylight going through there, but we also have some of them boarded off because of damage. Well, he wants to put a lean-to on there so he can have it just be an extra garage parking shed for one of his old trucks. So planning ahead is always important and key to that. That's why he put the exhaust for the generator up so high so that we would never have to worry about the addition that would be put on here as a lean-to. So this is doing a nice job of scraping this off, but you can see the natural slope of everything. All the water from the driveway has always come off this way and made it very, very wet through here. And then it runs through here. As you can see, very late winter, before things grew into their spring growth pattern, I had cut all these back level and low, and they have just taken off because they get so much water from up here that every time it rains, we get absolute standing water here and over on the other side of the driveway. Putting in that gravel driveway was the first step in helping with our flooding problem. So the first thing he did this morning when he had the soil mover hooked up, that pile of wet dirt over there, it was absolutely filling in these holes here. So we've had a request in for about a year for some topsoil from the neighbor with the gravel pit, but because he's so busy with sand and construction, that getting to topsoil is the least of, you know, his worries. And for us, since the driveway's in, we stopped driving through there and getting stuck. We just make sure any of our hay and straw customers, you know, we've been trying to keep people from backing into this section so we can get the grass growing, get that topsoil. Well, good job. We'll have to get a load of some grass seed, like a serious load of grass seed. That's just going to be absolute dirt for a while. I don't know. Buying things for landscaping aren't on his priority list, but he's really done a good job cleaning things up here this week. He sends me text messages showing me what he's doing during the day while I'm at the house working. It makes it slow for me because I'm over there filming jobs that take a week to put up a video for you, so our schedule has been off on our uploading. So that's why you haven't been seeing as much of me. Oh wait! Gotta get out of here! Come on! Come on! Maybe he can put a little topsoil on top of these tree roots. That's always a problem trying to mow around those. Maybe pants and a sweater would be good today. It's a little cooler than I thought.
I have a little cotton sweater in the house.
Okay, you could go get a sweater. Hey,
Huh.
show everybody Bethany lost another tooth this week.
Yeah.
Right there, she's lost her second tooth now. It was a huge deal.
Yeah.
That big one was coming up and it knocked that one loose and right out of her way.
Yep, I got it right out.
Yes, she did. She's brave. That looks great. You're doing a good job. Okay, maybe get a sweater for Georgie too.
Okay.
All right, bye. Okay. Can you let him on? He wants a ride. It's safer to have him ride. Up. Always slow and careful. It's already looking a whole lot better, but boy, it's topsoil. He's gonna have to pack this down. It is soft. The kids were trying to ride their bikes through it. Trey can get through it because he knows to pedal. The other guys were just stopping dead in their tracks and getting stuck. This guy's light and fast. He's swift. All right, so I'm off to work. I gotta stop at the store and get a little bit of tiling supplies and get back to my job so you guys can see what I'm doing for my next video project. We both had very productive days. I know, like on camera, it doesn't look as different as it did, but he's done quite a deal, and I'm off to try to find a collection drain for him. He has covered with plywood here. He's going to try to tunnel under the driveway without tearing it up, and we were talking about going along the lines where the electrical service is, but you know what, if there's ever any, you know, contact or anything like that, you don't want to electrify that pipe. He thought, well, let's run them separately anyway. So this is going under. This is quite a step up here that he's done, and he'll fill that back in. He's going to get a load of sand and a load of gravel, but there'll always be a dip over on the other side. From here you can see it a lot better. So all that water is going to run here, and from the downspout to there, we'll probably bury that so that it goes right to here, so that it's not just natural flowing, because that black drain pipe is just sitting there and it falls off all the time. We could probably fasten it on with a screw. I picked him up some eavesdrop repair parts for mending the seam there and putting the end cap on. This is his end where it's going to come out over here on this side, and I believe he's going to keep on trenching. I'm not real certain quite how he's going to do it, but he covered it up with plywood so that I wouldn't come home after dark last night. because he's nice that way and he didn't want me to fall in or have the kids fall into it. So this is going to be his project again today. I'm off to the store to find out about a drainage system for him. More or less what he's after is a cast iron crock or cistern. And you know what? Finding anything metal or cast iron locally at the hardware store, big box stores, I don't think we're gonna find it. I know I've seen plastic ones for rainwater collections where you can just have something going off of your driveway. We talked about French drains before. That's kind of what we're thinking. Then it will drain off to the other side of the yard. We don't want it to just permeate through the ground. So this is how my work day goes quite often, is that he needs some parts for his projects, I need some parts for my projects, and I need some trim boards to be able to finish off my bathroom at the workhouse, and I've been starting in on the kitchen. So I'll take a peek at what I need, find out what he needs, because if we can get it locally, he can have that done tonight. Well, we've all been hard at work. He has his jobs, I have my jobs. I'm off to do mine today. I've been working on my renovation job at the other house, and he's been here working on his drainage project. Let me show you how far he's gotten. So here's the end result of spreading out all the gravel. After it dried out, boy, I thought we've got quite a drop off. He filled that edge right in. Nobody's gonna slip off the driveway and get stuck. And they ran a little test yesterday. They uncapped their drain. This is where his rain collection is going to end up, and boy, we are having a heck of a time. I was running around the town the other day and I realized with it being a holiday weekend, we're not going to get one. There's a place in Lansing, Grand Ledge areas, and it's called Etna Plumbing Supply. So they're going to have what we're looking for, but we're just going to have to wait till Tuesday when they're open. So he's going to attach some black corrugated drain tile that we already had on hand to that end of the pipe. He hand dug this out, and I thought, why aren't you just going to do it with the backhoe? He didn't want to do it that deep, and he didn't want to do it that wide. So this way he's getting a graduated pitch and not having to dig it out. And this is where he ended up having good flow or good pitch. And that's something. So they ran a little test and they made sure there was not going to be standing water in there where he can terminate his pipe end. And I don't know quite how he's going to do it at the end. Maybe he's going to switch back to steel pipe so that we don't crush it. I'm not real sure. But this is where it's going, and then it just keeps running downhill. So in a heavy rain, it's just going to keep on going and find its way right off to the creek. So I'm home from my busy day work, and he has figured out what he can do all on his own. So he used a spoke wheel rim here on the outside, poured concrete around the edge, and he's going to put his own drain cap on the top, or drain grate. All this has been redone. He's got this all filled back in, and then he just left his end of his tailpipe out there. So I'll ask him what he's going to do about that. Nothing at all. He's just going to leave it. That's not going to work.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know about that.
Well, I don't think he's going to do it.
Well, I thought maybe from here to there it should be metal. Like wherever it's less buried. I don't know. Well, that's my thought, because then it doesn't get driven on and get crushed. But he told me, don't drive in the grass. I've been parking right here to be off of the driveway while he's doing his work, but it's all finished up. That is it. So that's it for today, everybody. Thanks for following along on this show and tell project. We'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up for Bethany, for all of Dad's hard work, and we'll see you later.